over the holidays, I decided to look up interesting New Year's Eve traditions and came across Bleigießen. Bleigießen is German for lead pouring. It's a New Year's Eve tradition where you melt a small amount of lead over a candle, then pour it into a bowl of water and interpret the shape that results. Practiced in several European and Nordic countries, I wondered, where did this tradition originate? Ancient people, like modern people, were curious about the future. From oracles to entrails, stars to the lines on our palms, just about anything might predict the outcome of future events. Molybdomancy is the Greek term for lead divination, and according to most sources, ancient Greece is where the practice originated. Greece was also influential in the development of alchemy, which was the search for a method of turning base metals like lead into gold, or alternatively, the search for the elixir of life. Plato and Aristotle were said to have been masters of this divine art. Astrology provided a sort of framework for alchemy, as reflected in the Hermetic concept of as above, so below. Each of the 7 known metals was identified with one of the 7 celestial objects. Silver was associated with the moon, Mercury with, Mercury, copper with Venus, gold with the sun, iron with Mars, tin was associated with Jupiter, and lead with Saturn, the father of the gods. He was associated with time and the seasons, and is usually depicted as an old man with a scythe. The popular Roman festival of the Saturnalia was celebrated at the end of December, and Saturn is often shown with a goat, the symbol of the astrological sign Capricorn, which begins at the end of December. So I wondered, is this association with the planet Saturn and the sign of Capricorn the reason why people still celebrate this tradition around the end of December? Interestingly, there's a similar tradition in Turkey called Kurşun Dökme, but it's not quite the same. Instead of being associated with New Year's Eve, like the Bleigießen tradition, it's something you could do any old time you feel the need. And when you feel the need is when you feel the wrath of the evil eye. The evil eye is a sort of curse that can be brought on by jealous looks, ill-wishing, or even too much praise. Blue glass amulets are commonly sold in modern Greece and Turkey to ward it off. Kurşun Dökme is a shamanic ritual to remove the evil eye. It involves hiding under a sheet, while a qualified practitioner pours the lead into a bowl of water over your head. This tradition is part of Tengrism, an ancient Central Asian belief system that's making a comeback these days. Lead in its metallic form is very rare in nature. It is found in rocks like galena and cerussite. It isn't as simple as just melting them though. If you're starting with galena, lead sulfide, it must first be roasted to release the sulfur dioxide, converting the ore to lead oxide, which can then be smelted. It's no wonder that a sort of mysticism was connected to metallurgy. It must have seemed like magic when this shiny, hard substance came from a rock. Galena also contains silver, and silver extraction required even more innovation on the part of ancient metallurgists. They compressed ashes of wood and bone into cup form, and the porous surface would absorb the lead and other base metals when heated, while the silver forms a pearl-like bead in the center. Even though it was a byproduct of more desirable silver, lead was still useful and abundant, and this abundance would certainly have contributed to its use as a divination tool. Molybdomancy isn't the sort of thing you'd see evidence of in the archaeological record, but there are some interesting ritual objects made of lead at the British Museum.
I know when to go out. I know when to stay in.
These Roman British lead plaques come from a temple to the god Mercury. They're inscribed with curses, usually involving stolen property. One curses someone to be half-naked, toothless, tremulous, and gouty. These tablets were then folded up and ritually donated to the god, and eventually buried. Similar to Bleigießen, the metal is being ritually sacrificed. Similar to Kurşun Dökme, a curse is involved, only here lead is empowering the curse instead of removing it. In nearby cases, votive plaques dedicated to other deities are made of silver and gold. These are clearly meant to be displayed. They are also inscribed, although with dedications rather than curses. I invited my friend Vilda to come over and try it with me. There's even a lead connection to where we met. in a town called Molybos on the island of Lesbos in the summer of 2015. Molybos, it turns out, is another way of saying molybdos, and lead was mined on the island millennia before the Roman Empire.